Writing is another powerful way to sharpen the mental saw. Keeping a journal of our thoughts, experiences, insights, and learnings promotes mental clarity, exactness, and context. Stephen Covey. Hey guys, welcome to Creativism, applying creativity to every aspect of life. I'm Josh the Creative, and this show takes a look at my past successes, mistakes, and all the things I've learned from my own experience or the experience of others. This show is about creating better habits, changing your mindset on your job, and nurturing your creativity. So whether you work for yourself or work for somebody else, this podcast is for you. And today, the cup of coffee I'm having, I made a cappuccino this morning. I got the dark roast. What was it? I got the dark Italian espresso from this brand called 8 O'Clock. Got like a big old bag of espresso beans from Sam's Club or Walmart or something. And I made me a nice homemade cappuccino with almond milk. And I've learned that there's kind of a difference in the taste for like a cappuccino. But anywho, we're going to jump into today's topic. So today we are talking about decluttering our mind. So we're used to having a lot on our mind, right? Different problems, objectives, people. We find ourselves trying to juggle all this information and efforts to remember each and everything. But that can leave our minds cluttered. We try to keep track of plans we have with friends, appointments to the doctor, and don't forget about that test you didn't study for. So with all this, I want to briefly share a few ways that help me on a regular basis to declutter my mind. So number one, create a to-do list and schedule your days. So one of the reasons I began scheduling my days is so I wouldn't have to remember when events were or what tasks had to be done that week. So when I worked as a retail merchandiser, I kept a specific schedule of what projects I had when during each week because I couldn't trust myself to memorize my route every day. More recently, I've begun setting a list of tasks I have to do, then applying that to my day-to-day. Although the scheduling is very helpful, what is there to do with your thoughts about something? And that's where number 2 comes in, journal your thoughts. So I'd recommend doing this every night before going to bed. Document big moments in your day, whether or not they're good or bad. Write your feelings or your views about a subject. Write out your prayers to God if you don't yet know how to say it out loud. I've found it helps to process my thoughts when I'm writing them out. Sometimes you don't feel like writing, you just have to talk it out. So number 3, talk it out. So sometimes just writing may not be convenient enough. You may not have a pen or paper on you. So an alternative is to take a moment when you're by yourself and talk out loud about your thoughts or views so they can exit the mind and become real through your speaking. If you need a better excuse for talking aloud, record it on your phone so people don't think you're weird. And the reason why I suggest to be by yourself is because I walk and talk a lot and I get weird looks. So I pretty much try to make sure that nobody can really see me. And the last thing, take some time to just think on it. The simplest thing to do is to just take that moment to be alone and be still. Let the thoughts run and process. Because sometimes we may move too fast from one task to the other that we don't have time to think that thought that just won't stop bugging us. So focus on that thought until you feel you've moved on from it. Then maybe you can talk it out or journal it once you've had a moment to process it. So to recap some of the things that you can do to declutter your mind, create a to-do list and schedule your days, journal your thoughts, talk it out if that suits you, or just take some time to think on it. All these tips are ways to keep thoughts from circulating in our minds without ceasing and help clear the mental clutter so we can focus on the task at hand. After applying these methods, I find myself with mental clarity. At least I feel like my thoughts have some room to breathe, and that's enough for me. So thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed this. And this week, the thing that I want to recommend is a YouTube channel called Art of Improvement. So I've kind of followed this channel for a handful of months now. This guy has like tons of videos about self-improvement, growth, and development. He touches on some of the same topics that I might hit on the show about productivity and creativity. And that's kind of why I wanted to bring this up as another source of content to absorb. I have a link to his channel in the description below. And I just want to say thanks again for listening. The song you're probably currently listening to was produced by yours truly, and you can find it on SoundCloud under Lewis Effect. You can find me on Instagram at _Josh the Creative. If you want to see my older videos, you can search Josh the Creative on YouTube. And if you want information about my film business, just visit fearlesslionmedia.com. I know this was a shorty, but I hope to see y'all next week. Deuces. Hey guys, so since this video was a little shorter than I would have preferred, I figured I'd take some time to give you some updates on my personal life. So if you are aware of who I am, Josh Lewis, Josh the Creative, whatever, you are aware that I'm getting married pretty soon. And we've been kind of teeter-tottering between what we would do as far as the actual ceremony, given the COVID-19 thing and social distancing and all that stuff going on. Well, by this point, by the time you've heard this, we would have already made the decision to still get married on April 18th. But our actual ceremony is going to be pushed back sometime probably over the summer. We're going to pretty much wait until things kind of calm down. So that's one of the things that I have going on. It's kind of like the biggest deal. Also, if you knew me when I was in Birmingham, I have moved to Phoenix City, Alabama, because I'm marrying my fiance. She's in Phoenix City, Alabama, going to school, and that is why I moved. It was kind of like a bittersweet kind of thing because I had to kind of move from home, move from Birmingham, which was where like the film industry was growing and stuff, and I liked the exposure that I had there. But throughout this process, I've had to kind of humble myself and just trust God's path that He has laid out for us. And I must say, it has been fantastic. There's been so much growth between me and my fiance through the last bit of pre-marriage counseling we had. We got a tiny house that we're renting. I'm really excited for that. It is looking phenomenal so far. Let's see, what else do I have going on? So aside from having just started this podcast recently, I also just released a new album under my, artist name, Lewis Effect. And the new album is called Short Time Vibe. And this was a set of songs that I've actually just kind of had and I've been working on for, past year or so. And that's pretty much how a lot of the music that I'm going to be putting out, from here on out is going to be. It's stuff that I've had for a couple of years now. And I've just been kind of bouncing back and forth between songs, kind of polishing it, fine-tuning it, getting it to where I want it to be. And that's been a journey in and of itself. Let's see. I also have a film business that I'm developing. So I seem to have a lot going on at once, and it never stops. Even when I try to only do like one thing, I have like the urge, the desire to do more. I tried stopping making music. I tried to just hold off, put a pause on it, but I can't stop the music coming to my mind. I have to put it on paper. I have to put it out there. And then with this podcast, this is something I didn't have to do, and it takes time to do it, but like I have the creativity, I have the urge deep down inside, and I have to release it. Otherwise, it's just going to be wasted, or it's going to build up, and I'm not going to be able to do anything with it. So that is why I'm doing this podcast. That is why I released my third album, and that is why there's still so much more to come. So what I'll probably be doing, I know I'm kind of ranting a little bit, but what I'll probably be doing along with the tips that I have in these episodes is kind of give you some updates on these side projects as things kind of move forward and progress. So anyway, thanks for listening to the actual podcast. Thanks for listening to this extra 5-minute bit. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you do get some value out of the information that I am providing for you, and I really do hope to provide even more valuable information in the future. So once again, guys, deuces.